So Abdurrahman, kind of a follow-up from our previous conversation in terms of networking. We never met. We met on LinkedIn, but we kept in touch. We added value to each other. We keep in touch. Had conversation, and here we are doing this interview. But for some people, they don't know how to network. They feel that they need to send you a message and say, "Hey, Abdurrahman, I need a job, or I see that your company is hiring. Can you help me?" They go directly to that, which is wrong because I always tell the example that first you need to build relationship with this person, and then it might take 3 to 6 months, and then you can ask something in favor. But people say that I need a job now. Why I need to wait 6 months to build a relationship with Abdurrahman and then ask for something, but and the job will be finished then. So what can tips you have for people building relationship, maybe even before coming to Canada?
That's a great question. You mentioned something interesting here, which is, that idea of like a 6 month timeline for a relationship to be built, right? And regardless how long a relationship takes, it leads to an interesting point, which is that the best time to network and build relationships is when you don't need a job,
Yes.
right? And it's this idea, again, as cliche as it sounds, right? It's the ABCs, always be connecting,
Hmm.
right? Always be connecting with people because you don't know when a relationship will come to fruition.
Yeah.
Most individuals make the mistake where they're like, you know what? I have a job. I'm happily employed. All good. I don't need to do anything. Right.
Mhm.
And then when the job, if they get laid off or they need a new job, like, oh my God, now I got a network. And then they
Yeah.
realize networking takes time. So first thing is start from now. If you're happily employed, you're not looking for anything anytime soon, this is the absolute best time to be building those relationships. Now, in the event that you don't really have those relationships and you need a job immediately, right? There are a few ways you can expedite it, right? And the thing is, we need to understand that when people are in the job market, and I'm talking about the hiring side of the table, hiring managers, recruiters, right? They're there for business. And they know when people are reaching out to them about roles, they know that there's supposed to be an exchange, right? So this idea of like, hey, you know what? Try to build a relationship by saying, hey, how are you? How's your day going? Tell me about your family. Nobody's going to respond to that,
No.
right? And so we want to take the direct approach, which is this is where you actually want to put on your consulting hat. And that most people make the mistake of just approaching a recruiter or hiring manager and saying, hey, I saw this role, I applied, when can we interview? Right? Zero value was added to that
Yeah.
conversation or to that
Yeah.
relationship. So the way we add value is by making the decision making process easier for the hiring party. How do
Mhm.
we do that? You take the time to study the job description, do some research online to understand exactly what the company's about, who they serve, what products and services they have, and generally speaking, what challenges are they facing. Again, the job description is going to give you all these answers.
Yeah.
And the way I was actually we had a group coaching call with our clients yesterday. We were talking about this, that when a company puts out a job description, what they're really saying publicly is that, hey guys, we have this big problem in our
Yeah.
organization and we're willing to pay you 150, 200, $250,000 to solve that for us because we know that this salary is going to solve this problem and give us much more in return. All
Yeah.
right. So the best way to create value and build a relationship is deconstruct what problems they have, understand what your superpower is and why you'd be the best person to solve this problem. And so when you do reach out, your outreach is not, hey, Mher, I applied to the role into an interview. It's, hey, Mher, I've been researching this XYZ role at your company, and I noticed that your team is, addressing this main challenge, right? Which I have researched. I have addressed a similar challenge in a previous company, and then insert some kind of quantifiable achievement related to that. If you think I think my profile is a good fit, if you think so too, I welcome the opportunity for us to connect over a quick 15-minute call to learn a little bit more. Now it's a complete different thing. It's like, okay, cool. Abdurrahman has clearly done his research. He's reaching out to the right person, and he's shown me that he's addressed this problem before. He's giving me every reason to be like, okay, you know what? You've made my life easier, right? Which is the
Yeah.
relationship building part. Let's connect, keep the conversation going. You multiply this across enough, hiring decision makers, and you have a pipeline full of conversations going,
Yeah.
right?
I
Yeah,
always tell my clients or even students that it's the best time to network is when you are a student, build those relationships. And
that's
also,
right.
you
Mm.
mentioned when you have a job and you're happy, keep them on. And the clients I'm helping, I tell them once that you already have a job, please keep networking with people because you never
That's
know what
right.
the future holds. And also
100%.
doing kind of a SWOT analysis and presenting that, maybe instead of sending your resume, do SWOT analysis. And the moment you can speak with how much money you can save or how much money you can make and make profits, people will get your attention and will give you an opportunity to have conversation with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And again, it's like the same analogy I talk about when it comes to buying a house. So, everybody thinks, oh, you know what, the job market sorry, the real estate market sucks. I can't get in. Right. And so it's this idea is like the best time to buy a house was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
The next best time is now. Right. So similar with networking.
Yeah, I totally agree. And again, thank you for those great tips. And then for the audience, if you have any other tips, again, leave them below and tune in next time for another great question with Abdurrahman.